Okay then, Helldivers, we're back inside of the game, and we have got a lot to go through today, as we have got a new major order update, and this is an interesting one to say the least, as it may have been Arrowhead's fault as to why we failed this. Now, on top of that, though, we do have some stuff coming from the Baskinator with regards to the game, and apparently trying to share a graph or two on their weekly reports, which, if they can get it, it would be nice if we could get something like that each week. Nonetheless, we're going to take a look into everything we've got happening today. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. And check out our sponsor, Instant Gaming, who right now have got their own game calendar going on, where each day you get to open a box and you'll see some games in there, and you can get your games even cheaper than the cheap prices they already have. It's an absolute no-brainer. I'll leave the link down in the description. Go and get your games a ton cheaper today. With that being said, though, let's dive on into the game and see what's happening right now. So starting off, we have got the major order. Yeah, we failed it. Now, we failed this one because of the staging ground on Chewie. Now, that may have been because of the DSS and not being able to send it there, although as you can see on screen, we can now send the Democracy Space Station over to Chewie, which is a little bit too late, but nonetheless, that's now apparently been rectified, and hopefully we don't have this issue going forward. But the major order failure notice states right here, though the Helldivers demonstrated commendable blood and or oil lust, dismantling over 150 million automatons in a matter of days, they were unable to claim the Jet Brigade staging ground on Chewie. The planet proved too entrenched in automaton space to be easily torn from the corrupt claws of the mechanical menace. Whatever secrets about the Jet Brigade it may have contained have likely been scrubbed from servers and databases by now. But all is not lost. An impressive number of memory drives were recovered from the dismantled automatons. As soon as their contents have been uploaded to bot husks in CAF possession, they will be ready for interrogation. This is all but guaranteed to yield results as soon as all of the 89,601,000 drives have been thoroughly interrogated. No matter how long it may take, we must find the Jet Brigade factories. Only then they are unable to rebuild will our citizens be able to sleep soundly at night, with their safety preemptively defended. Now, this is obviously a big one, and it means that the story behind the Jet Brigade has not been finished yet, and with around 89 million drives that need to be interrogated, it's safe to say that this is not likely to continue on for such a short time period, but actually probably quite a long time period before this storyline gets wrapped up and we can move into something else, which for me personally disappoints me quite a bit. I've not been a massive fan of the Jet Brigade storyline. I don't know if anybody else is on that same routing, but I just think that it's been a little bit lackluster and not really too entertaining for the most part. But then again, that's just my opinion, especially when we've got things like the Gloom and Meridian all in tail and floating around the galaxy like it's just nothing. I think that those storylines are something that we really want to see, and the community right now are getting really impatient with regards to where this storyline is actually going. And with new games popping up left, right and center, PoE launches tomorrow, and you guys already know that we're covering that here on the channel. We've been covering it already. If you've missed any of those videos, then please do make sure you check it out. It'd be greatly appreciated. But it'll be interesting to see what they do with this. Now, as far as a new major order comes up, we actually have no idea. Somebody was asking if we're likely to see it today, and the Baskinator says we don't typically know when the major orders drop very much in advance, which is a bit of a weird one, because I'd like to think that actually they know when they're dropping what, and would definitely be a little bit strange that they don't know when it's going to be coming up. But nonetheless, hopefully by around 6 p.m. tonight UK time, we should have a new major order come through the rankings, and we may well hit that straight away. But right now, it's pretty lackluster. Apparently, though, they are doing weekly reports on the game over at Arrowhead, and the Baskinator is fighting to try and get it for us, which would be quite intriguing. This right here states they are doing something. We also share the data with everyone in our weekly report. I've been trying to get approval to show some of the data to players, but no luck yet. Sorry. I will keep asking if we can share like a graph or two, though. And I think that that is really important. I think that actually we should have those weekly updates where we kind of know what's happening and we get an update on where they're at. Right now, we just kind of get to a Tuesday and kind of hope for a new patch update, and when it doesn't doesn't come with no explanation as to why, we kind of just continue on with our day. But right now, we're losing players left, right, and center, and I think it's definitely a shame. And what would bring them back? Well, I don't know what would bring them back, but some cool features inside of the game that would definitely be pretty damn amazing is stuff like this right here, which is a in-game encyclopedia idea for HD2, and somebody went into great detail to get this made. As you can see right here on the first screen, we do have the Terminus automatons, and very funny, now face the wall. This is pretty clever, as we've got an enemies encyclopedia, and then a more detailed breakdown of those enemies inside of those segregated categories. But the next one is probably where it actually works the best. This is called the strategy section of the encyclopedia, where you can see the attack, defense, planetary control, supply lines, decay rate, gambits, planet conditions, defense level conditions, CF presence, and this obviously gives you guys a breakdown of exactly how these certain topics actually work. And I think that this is definitely needed inside the game, and if they haven't already just made this up for you and seen exactly how you could do it, then I don't know what the hell Arrowhead are doing. If the community can make this stuff that easily, then just jump it in, man. Get in communication with some of these modders and stuff. I think it'd be cool. Obviously, this is a graphic image movement. It's a JPEG or whatever you want to call it, but it's not actually inside of the game. But I think this would be pretty cool to have inside. I think this would help a lot of players. And they suggested it should be on this screen, the notorious screen that has nothing on it whatsoever. Now, I don't think it should go into there. I am intrigued as to what they're going to do with it. I know that there is a lot of talks around that they're working on something with it. But no, I have no idea. I don't think that that would work there, and I think it'd be a waste of the monitor with 4 panels, but nonetheless. And if I've got to see this, then so have you, because it's completely ruined this player card for me. But this states right here, I can't unsee it. With 3,000 upvotes, I may add. Buenos dias, driver! Yeah, you can't unsee that now. And every time I see it, all I see is the claw and hear the accent. It's absolutely crackers. Anywho, now we're going to dive into your top comments, as you guys had a lot to talk about in the last one. I know that it's been quite a lackluster week for Helldivers as a community, and as we move into new games, everything seems to be happening over these few days, whether it's the 5th or the 6th. We seem to be seeing stuff happening on all sorts of games over that due course period, so it's quite an interesting time to see how Helldivers is going to take a repercussion on that. Like I say, if PoE drops tomorrow for early access, again, if you want to check that out, it's on the channel already. We're going to be covering the news on that as well. So please, please, please make sure that you stay tuned for it. It'd be so greatly appreciated. Nonetheless, though, this first comment right here states, the thought of Joel driving the DSS, getting stuck in super traffic, honking a horn makes me laugh. Now, yes, yeah, that is quite a funny feature. Unfortunately, though, what it was regards to was the fact that we couldn't send the DSS over to Chewie. So that didn't really make me laugh. So yeah, that's a bit of an unfortunate one. This next one right here states, the fact that no one mentioned noticing the nerf, I use it every mission and hadn't noticed, makes me think that it didn't make much difference and not worth worrying about. Now, for those of you guys who didn't notice, there was a nerf on the vitality booster apparently, and there was a bit of a chop down on how much damage you were able to take. So therefore, the reduction in damage output was just like cut by half or something like that. Now, obviously, nobody noticed it until it was looked into and the numbers were obviously seen. So maybe he's right. Maybe it's not worth worrying about. And this final comment right here states, yo, how cool would it be during the Game Awards, except a content trailer? There's like an emergency broadcast from the Ministry of Truth that the Illumina are on the attack, and that's how they introduce them to the game. Would be so cash money. 100% actually. I could imagine it during one of the Game Award announcements or just beforehand. Somebody comes onto the stage and then all of a sudden the lights go off, the screens hit, and there's an emergency announcement from Super Earth. Oh my god, that would be so damn cool. It's not likely to happen, but as far as roleplay goes, that would be absolutely crackers, and I would so be there to watch that. It would be amazing. Nonetheless, though, unfortunately, that's all we got time for today. It's been a bit of a bleak week indeed, and hopefully we can get a better one coming next week, but that's all we got for today. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, appreciate your faces, and I'll see you in the clouds.